and brings it back out. Nowitzki on the pull-up trying to draw the foul. And able to raise on LeBron James. Pushes off, offensive foul. He didn't do it. He did it right in front of him. That was an easy call.
Has a look where he's ready to take over this basketball game.
Barea puts it in. J.J. Barea.
Glad to see Florida. Pick and roll offense gets Eddie House on his heels. Late contest, and J.J. makes him pay the price.
Terry to Nowitzki. Nowitzki open jump shot, knocks it down. And brings it back out. Nowitzki on the pull-up, puts it in. 10-point game with 3:40 to play.
That's the way they should play.
Nowitzki puts it up, puts it in. Dirk Nowitzki makes it a 10-point game.
But great players are just like death and taxes. Sooner or later, they're going to get you. Dirk, 8 big points in the fourth quarter. Dwindle down the clock, and then outstanding, unstoppable jump shot. That thing is pretty, and the boss man knows it.
The fourth quarter has been Dallas's here in these finals. Terry off the dribble, pulls up. That's good. Jason Terry nails it. And it's back to 12, equaling the largest lead of the game. Some of the fans now heading for the exits. The Dallas Maverick fans starting to celebrate. Nowitzki, left hand, lays it in. And it's 103-92. And that should do it for the Dallas Mavericks. Mark Cuban starting to celebrate behind the Dallas bench.
And only fitting. Mama, there goes that man. Dirk Nowitzki sealing the deal. The Dallas Mavericks bench realizing that the jewelry is theirs.
For the Miami Heat, a stunning ending to one of the more compelling seasons in NBA history. A bitter finish to a year that was really championship or failure, according to most people, including the Miami Heat players. As we said, they came together here in the Eastern Conference playoffs, but it all came apart after taking a 2-1 lead in his best-of-7 series. Followed by playoff disappointments, which is what Miami's going through right now.
Yo, what's good? What's good? It's your boy Kelvin back at y'all again behind the bench. Salute to everybody out there, man. Hope y'all blessed and well. And thanks for all the new subscribers that came through, showed us love. Appreciate that. Big shout out to the other guys in the group, JB, Rashad, Kobe Bryant Film Room, Big Dog Talk Sports. Y'all sub up, check out their pages, continue to grow, move forward. And just go from there. All right. We got episode 2 of Barbershop Talk featuring my boy Mark in the house. Yes, and this topic here we got is, oh my God. It's an ongoing internet thing that people have been talking about over the years, and that is the 2011 Dallas Mavericks. And the question is, how good were they? Okay. Over the years, the 2011 Mavericks, as we know, they made a great playoff run. They beat a lot of great teams. They beat the Lakers. They swept them. They beat OKC. And of course, the biggest upset was beating the Miami Heat super team with LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. So, over the years, for whatever reason, this Dallas Mavericks team has been, thought of as some kind of great super team or something like that. And I just do not believe that is the case. The Dallas Mavericks team was okay. During their playoff run, they caught a lot of breaks and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, people have overhyped them. I don't know if it's because of the LeBron thing, but got my boy Mark in the building. And just want to ask you some questions about this Mavericks team and what your thoughts are and Why do you believe this team is being overblown and overhyped, in your opinion?
Well, just like you, I actually think this team is, I don't want to say overrated, but I'll just say it like this way. If they were to make this run again or redo those playoffs, I think it's a 0% chance that they will win that championship.
I agree.
They barely got out of the first round with Portland. Yeah, I know the series looked like, okay, like they won okay comfortably, but every game was nip and tuck. Could have lost against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
Probably should have lost against OKC.
Yeah.
And then the Lakers series, they were real close to being down 2-0. Was it almost down? Could have been 2-0?
The first 3 games of the Lakers series, the Lakers were up late, I believe. I know game 1 and game 3 for sure. The Lakers were up late in both of those games, and the Mavericks made, heroic comebacks to win those 2 games. I believe the second game, the Mavericks might have been up when the Lakers came back. I'm not sure, but it was a sweep, but it wasn't like a normal dominating sweep. I know everybody look at the game 4 because that was a blowout, but games 1 through 3 could have went either way. I know game 1 and 3 was very close, and they look at it as, the Mavericks dominated. Nah, but that wasn't the case, But I don't know, man, what it is about this Dallas Mavericks team. Social media and people talk about this team. They hype it up to be some kind of great team. They had Dirk and they had some solid role players, and that's about it. It wasn't some kind of great all-time champion. Go ahead.
Basically, see, it's like what I told you the other day. When you win, people always seem to overestimate. If you win, they were good, they were great. And that's just in any sport, on any team.
Right.
When you win it, they consider you really good. Think about it. We'll just switch real quick like to football.
Right.
When the Patriots went undefeated, they were going to be the great. If they won that Super Bowl against the Giants, they were going to be clearly considered the greatest team ever.
Right.
They lost and nobody even mentioned them.
Right. Exactly.
That just show you how far of a drop that a losing will do. The Miami Heat would have won against the Mavericks like it looked like they were going to win. Like everyone thought they were going to win. And if someone tell me now, man, I thought the Mavericks were going to win even when it was 1-0 and you seeing LeBron them catching oops and dunking, screaming.
Nobody thought the Mavericks.
Nobody. I didn't even think it. I was like, oh, man, it's over. So my point is saying that when you win, people overestimate what your real talent ability is, because that's what happened with the Mavericks with Dirk. All those years, they always associate Dirk having really good teams because he was able to catapult them to 50, 60 wins for 10, 12 years in a row.
Right.
But if you look at the individual talent, it was, come on, let's look at that.
Yeah, let's look at that. Okay, we know Dirk was the only All-Star, and everybody acknowledged his greatness. But let's go through some of the players. The first name that everybody talk about is Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd, he was a Hall of Famer, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about
that year.
Let's talk about Jason Kidd that year.
Okay.
Jason Kidd that year, people, was 37 years old. In the regular season, I'm looking at it now, he averaged 8 points and 8 assists. Now, I'm not trying to downplay, his contributions during the playoffs, because during the playoffs, here and there, he did hit some big threes. But we need to stop. This was nowhere near prime Jason Kidd with the New Jersey Nets when he was carrying them teams to the finals. People need to stop overhyping. Go ahead.
I believe he retired like a year or 2 after that. That's how much over the hill he was. That's how much over the hill he was. But then I know everyone, when they talk about the Mavericks, the thing is, not even a player on that 2011 team even was on the ballot to be an all-star. Everyone, and they usually have 30 guys who be on the ballot and you just vote for them. They felt that it was nobody outside of Dirk who was even worthy of being voted for. So that just shows you how a lack of, I'm not gonna say respect because they were pretty good as a team, but as an individual talent, no. Jason Kidd was well past his prime and very long at the tooth. He was a spot up 3-point shooter, a good one.
Yeah, and here and there, you know, he could play a little defense and stuff like that in the post because he, you know, strong guy. But,
East Texas strong.
Yeah. But nah. Okay, next guy, Tyson Chandler. Everybody say, "Oh man, Tyson Chandler was on the team, defensive player of the year, to do and all that."
Not that year.
Not that year.
So it don't count. They kill me when they do that. They'll have a guy who was an all-star 6 years before, and they be like, "Man, they had Paige Stojakovic." I feel like that's the type of stuff they do. I feel like, dude, Paige had one decent game the whole playoffs, and when they want to, man, they had Paige. That one Paige with Sacramento Kings with Chris Webber.
I'm looking at Paige, and that Paige was 33 years old, averaged 7 points in the playoffs,
and he probably hit 15 in that one game to boost his stats up.
Yeah.
So, but my point in saying that is, these guys were long at the tooth,
right?
Very long at the tooth. Jason Kidd was not that guy. How many points did Jason Kidd average in that finals against the Heat?
I think it was 7 points.
7 points. And I believe like 5 or 6 assists.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Sound like, to me, I think
role player.
1994 Avery Johnson stats were better than that, and point guards didn't even shoot the ball at that time.
Jason Kidd in the finals averaged 6 assists, 7 points.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I meant Speedy Claxton numbers. That's what I meant. Because if you cover up the name, you couldn't tell the difference. Tyronn Lue numbers were better than that. And he was a backup when he played. That's what I'm saying. People looking at the name, and these guys' game had been dwindled. But we were on, so who was the next guy you have?
Let's go. Caron Butler. I know a lot of people talk about Caron Butler. He only played 29 games. He got injured.
And he was supposed to be the second option.
Right.
So that Mavericks team lost their second option. Oh, before I forget, let's go back. We were talking about Tyson Chandler. We didn't get into him like we were supposed to.
Okay.
So my thing is with Tyson Chandler. Tyson Chandler was a good player for what he do, but he was more of a intense, high activity player. People talk like Tyson Chandler was out there doing 15 and 15.
No, like 8 and 8. I'm looking at it now. It was like 8 and 8.
Yeah, and he caught, and his 8 points were going to probably be 6 of them off alley oops.
Yeah, and putbacks and stuff like that.
Yeah, and if you like, I'm not saying he didn't play a major role because they couldn't have won without him, but I'm saying. Right. People be talking like Tyson Chandler was Shaq, or they be talking like he was Pau Gasol, like any of these guys. He was not. He was good. He did his job. I'm not saying that he was a bad player.
Right.
He every guy on the Mavericks team was needed. If anybody was missing, that team does not win.
Right.
And my thing is with Tyson Chandler, people talk, oh, he was the defense. Not that year.
No,
I don't care what.
Knicks a few years later.
I don't care what a guy did. I don't care if a guy was an all-star last year or a defense MVP 2 years later. What was he that year?
Right.
He was not. Oh, and the last thing, I know another people, what everyone is going to go to. Jason Kidd was an all-star the year before. They love to say that Jason Kidd averaged like 10 and 9. And I'd be like, dude, those are not all-star numbers. He got in, it was basically like how Dirk and Dwayne Wade got in they final years. It was one of those, when they just give it to you. You really don't deserve it. They give it to you.
Yeah.
But the reason why he got in, because he wasn't a genuine all-star. Kobe didn't play. Who else didn't play? Kobe didn't play. And who was the other guy?
I'm not sure.
Brandon Roy didn't play. Chris Paul didn't play. All these guys that he got in because injuries, and they were all guards.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. He averaged 10 and 9. He shouldn't have been an all-star, man.
But and I'm pretty sure if I looked it up, I could find guys who had better numbers. But like I said, they had 4 guards who was injured that year. So he got in as just he was a popular guy, and they had to put somebody. It was better than them to put him in the game than to put somebody like me in the game who averaged 14.
Okay, next guy. Everybody look, Shawn Marion.
The Matrix.
The Matrix, Shawn Marion. Now, people, y'all need to stop with the Shawn Marion talk with the Mavericks. This wasn't the Matrix that Kenny Smith named from the Phoenix days when he was an all-star, catching alley-oops, shooting threes and stuff like that. This was an older Shawn Marion. He's 32, 33 years old. He was solid, but he wasn't in his prime. All these guys, a lot of these guys were cast-offs later in their career, and they just had a nice run. But this was by no means some stacked team. Shawn Marion was not an all-star. His all-star days were 3 or 4 years earlier. What's your thoughts on Shawn Marion?
Shawn Marion was another role player. And I'm going to give you an example. Everyone used to always talk, and I'm pretty sure people are going to be in the comments saying this about Shawn Marion, how great his defense was. That's what they're going to say.
Yeah.
But if Shawn Marion's defense was so great at all these points and times, why was Jason Kidd sticking every guy that was a superstar in the big moments?
That's true.
Jason Kidd was sticking Kevin Durant. Y'all go back and look at those videos. In the big games, at the end, Jason Kidd was pushing Kevin Durant at the three-point line trying to post him up. Guess who else? But guess what? Kobe too.
Yeah,
guess what else? LeBron and Dwayne Wade too.
Yeah,
but guess what? Those are Shawn Marion guys. They his height, 6'7", 6'8". You know, why is Jason Kidd sticking those guys? You know, Jason Kidd didn't have the foot speed to stay in front of the guards like that no more. Right. But Shawn Marion is what everyone considers the best defender on that team. But he was not the one sticking the guy when it mattered the most. Right. It was a reason why Clueless Rick was putting Jason Kidd. Those were great decisions. He put Jason Kidd on Kevin Durant. Yeah. I watched Kevin Durant get pushed out there to the three-point line multiple times. That's Shawn Marion. They both play small forward. Why Shawn Marion not sticking him? Kobe and Shawn Marion the same height almost. Why is Shawn Marion not sticking him at the end? Dwayne Wade going to work. Shawn Marion get him because Shawn Marion, Rick Carlisle knew something that the general public didn't know, which is Jason Kidd could stick these guys better. He's more effective against them. Because it would have made sense to put Shawn Marion on them with their height being similar. Right. But he didn't.
Shawn Marion was cool, and I like Shawn Marion, and I don't want to diminish Shawn Marion's contribution to the team because, you know, he did hit a few shots here and there, but the way y'all talk about Shawn Marion on this team, the Mavericks team, like he was in his prime, he wasn't. The only guy that was still in his prime was Dirk. He was at the very tail end of his prime. Everybody else was a bunch of ragtag cast-offs, and, you know, they had a nice regular season and just had an amazing run where everything went right for them. And last we're going to talk about is Jason Terry.
Yeah.
Now, I love Jason Terry. I've been a big fan of Jason Terry. He's one of the most underrated clutch role players of all time. He made big shots and big plays and big moments, but Jason Terry was never an all-star. He was never an elite player. Jason Terry had heart. And again, he had a lot of big shots and big moments and stuff like that. But still, he was not some star player. He was just a very high-end role player. What's your thoughts on Jason Terry?
Jason Terry was the sixth man. Yeah, he was a sixth man for a reason. Because I tell you what, if you were a superstar, you're going to be on the court. I get it. Some people may go to Manu Ginobili and say, Manu was a sixth man and he was a such and such. Manu made the All-Star team too. A few times.
Right.
So maybe the people, because you got to remember both the fans and the players. Right. So they voted Manu in. They seen something. Jason Terry. Now again, I love Jason Terry. Jason Terry by far was the second most valuable player on that team. He was the most consistent player outside of Dirk. Hit all the big shots, man. He made so many.
Remember what he said to LeBron? You got to stick me too.
I laughed when he said it. I laughed when he said that. I think it was game 2 or game 3. Dude, I laughed. I said, oh, man, this dude crazy. And he went out there and he did it. He proved his point. But the thing is Jason Terry is one of the most clutch players ever. Very underestimated because if he was considered a superstar, as clutch as he was, he'd be a legend.
Right.
But because he's not a superstar or not even a star really, no, everybody forgets how clutch he is, you know, and how many big shots he hit.
Right.
The thing is with Jason Terry, man, maybe if he stayed in the East with the Atlanta Hawks, he might could have squeezed out 2 or 3 All-Stars because he would have probably had big numbers, 27 points, but they would lose like every game. But at the end of the day, Jason Terry, man, very, very good player, the perfect complementary player to the Mavericks and Dirk. But again, like you said, he wasn't a superstar. He was the ultimate role player, but even more than a role player, he was the ultimate big shot taker. Right. And you just can't beat that. And if you go back and watch those playoffs, especially against the Heat, you're going to see a lot of big shots that Jason Terry made. He's the one guy out of all those role players that were named, he was consistent. The number 3 player option shifted every other game. In one game, it was Marion. One game, it was Kidd. The next game, it was Barea. The next game...
Forgot about Barea.
He dominated the Lakers. He took them down himself.
Yeah.
But it would be other games. Deshaun Stevenson might come out here 2-3-3. That was a ragtag bunch of guys that other teams did not want. If that was still Shawn Marion, the Matrix, the Suns would have still had him. Right. And the Wizards didn't want Deshaun Stevenson. Yep. How you think Brendan Haywood got over there to the Mavericks? He was playing. Yep. He wasn't anything special.
Brian Carton.
Yes.
He played a little. I'm looking at it now.
That's what I'm saying. These guys, look at these guys. That's exact Corey Bull, Paige Stockton. All these guys were long at the tooth. I think they call lightning in the bottle. Right. If you played against Portland with a healthy Brandon Roy, they could potentially lose the next time they played. I think they would lose if they played the Thunder again.
Look, I'm just keeping one. It's people overhype this. It's LeBron fans. I know y'all LeBron fans gonna be listening. It's y'all overhyping, trying to make an excuse for the reason why LeBron James melted down and lost. No, the Mavericks were clearly underdogs to the Miami Heat team. The Miami Heat was very, very close from going up 2-0. You gotta remember, Game 3 back in Dallas, the Miami Heat won that game, and then of course the incident with Dwayne Wade and LeBron coughing or whatever, making fun of Dirk. Going into Game 4, the Miami Heat was winning that game going into the fourth quarter. They were about 9-10 points, and the Mavericks had to come back and sneak out that game. So y'all trying to overhype this Mavericks team like it was something special or great. It wasn't. Like you said, there was a bunch of ragtag guys carried by Dirk. Jason Terry was a high-end role player, and they just had a miraculous playoff run where they called a lot of breaks and they hit a lot of big shots. I also got to remember that I believe the Spurs were the number 1 seed that year, and the Spurs got upset in the first round by the Memphis Grizzlies. So they didn't have to face a Spurs team that they would have to deal with. And then they faced the Lakers. The Lakers had went to 3 straight finals. No excuse. They beat the Lakers. They swept them or whatever. Then they faced a young OKC Thunder team where the Thunder was up late in several games, and the Mavericks had to make these miraculous comebacks. And Dirk with all these miracle shots. The Game 4 in OKC is legendary. OKC was up by 15? Mm-hmm. What about 3 or 4 minutes left in Game 4 from the tie the series up at 2? And the Mavericks made a run, tied that game up, went to overtime. The Mavericks won. Then they won that series in 5, and then we know Game 2 against Miami, miraculous comeback. They was down 2-1, miraculous comeback in Game 4 to win that. This Mavericks team, like you said, if they played again, they might lose in the first round. They were just very fortunate. I'm not saying luck. There was some luck, They caught a lot of breaks, hit big shots, big moments. Players contributed here and there, shots here and there, a bounce here and there. Mm-hmm. And that Mavericks team, they might lose to the Lakers.
Very possible. That's
what I'm saying. And so all this talk about this Mavericks team being a great team, they wasn't. It was a reason why they only won 1 championship. I know Mark Cuban dismantled the team or whatever, but they would have came back.
They weren't gonna go. Bro.
They was probably gonna lose, man.
Look how Kid and look how everyone performed the next year.
Right.
Every one of those guys pretty much was arrows pointing all the way down at that point.
Yeah.
You go look at their numbers and everything, and you'll see.
Yeah.
You know, so them bringing back that same squad, yes, I wanted them to bring back the same squad, but Mark Cuban them even knew because he was trying to get Dwight Howard and trying to get Darren Williams, trying to get anybody to come in because he knew that, hey, you know, we call lightning in the bottle.
Yeah.
But you know how everyone does with Dallas, where they toy with us and act like they're gonna come, but really don't.
But yeah, man, y'all LeBron fans, y'all need to stop, man. LeBron just played like garbage. It was the biggest meltdown ever. The Miami Heat were clear favorites, and they blew it. You know, you give the Mavericks credit. They made the plays. They made timely plays, timely shots. But this was not a great team. They were a solid team that made shots, made plays, and caught breaks along the way, and they were able to sneak out a championship. And that's that. And that's how they're going to be remembered in history. It was a great run by Dirk, and I'm glad he got that championship. Otherwise, people wouldn't
get the Tony Romo treatment.
Right, exactly. You know, but we need to stop overblowing the Mavericks team, and you know they are what they were, and that's that. So that's that. That's episode 2. Just a little thoughts about the 2011 Dallas Mavericks. Let us know in the comments what y'all think, and I'll respond back. And we'll catch y'all on the next episode. Salute to y'all. I'm out.